Hi guys, welcome back to Planet Mithril. My name is Mithril, and today I'm finishing off my Durnhelm two-parter by showing you how to paint up the armoured variant of Master Meriadoc Brandybuck in his Rohan attire, both on foot and with a paint scheme that can be mirrored for his passenger variant. While I can't very well tackle the brave and courageous Eowyn, also known as Durnhelm, and not give the same care and attention to our passenger and protector on the field of battle, Master Meriadoc, Esquire of Rohan, now could I. With this tutorial, you'll be able to field all three of these models on the tabletop to face down the Force of Evil, and, of course, the dreaded Witch King of Angmar. I'll be working my Merry off a black undercoat which I've applied with Chaos Black spray prior to painting. Brush is ready, let's get to it. I'm beginning by giving Merry's face and feet a base coat using Bugmans Glow. All his hair now is being base coated using Steel Legion Drab. The full, upper arm sleeves and shield outer are now being base coated using Castellan Green. Don't worry about going over the patterning on the shield at this point, easier not to fret about it. The elven cloak is being base coated with a 2-to-1 mix of Abaddon Black and Zamesi Desert. His trousers are being picked out using Thondia Brown. His gloves, arm braces, straps and the reverse of the shield now are being given the base coat using Dryad Bark. The main body of his leather armours now are being picked out using Khorne Red. The blade of his sword is then being picked out using Leadbelcher. The final base coat stage is to pick out the gold detailing over the shield frontage and the hilt of the sword using Balthasar Gold. The face and feet now are being shaded using Reikland Fleshshade. Merry's hair, brown leathers, wood and any gold detailing now is being shaded down using Agrax Earthshade. The elven cloak, remaining green cloth and the shield outer are now being shaded down using Athonian Camoshade. The sword blade is being hit with a quick shade using Nuln Oil. With the red leather armour finally being shaded down using Carroburg Crimson. I'm building up the structure of Merry's face and layering up his feet now using a 1-to-1 mix of Bugmans Glow and Cadian Fleshtone. The detail in the face is really good, almost segmented through cheekbones to jawline, so this should be a nice easy process. I'm continuing to strengthen his facial features and the rest of his exposed skin with a layer of pure Cadian Fleshtone, building on my previous stage to create detail. With a highlight just framing the upper details of his facial features and defining his feet and toes now being applied with Kislev Flesh. The eye recesses are now being painted in using Abaddon Black, and then finished off with Pallid Witch Flesh. Now onto his tousled, blonde, sandy hair. I'm inlaying some initial texture over all the hairy sections now using a 1-to-1 mix of Steel Legion Drab and Tallarn Sand. You can see how I'm trying to leave the shade showing in some of the more pronounced recesses and really try to dial in some detail at this early stage to make highlighting a bit easier later on. I'm now applying a second layer, further defining the strands of hair over head and feet alike using pure Tallarn Sand, being more precise and targeted here for the best overall effect. For the highlights now, I'm simply adding Screaming Skull into my Tallarn Sand, starting at a rough 3-to-1 mix and increasing the concentration of Screaming Skull for each successive highlight. You can take this as light as you like, depending on how light you want the upper levels of blonde to be. I'm applying a glaze now with heavily diluted Seraphim Sepia to tie the hair together and bring a little bit more warmth back to the lower tones of Merry's hair. That characteristic Rohirrim green cloth now is being given an initial layer using a rough 3-to-1 mix of Castellan Green and Zamesi Desert, keeping the Zamesi at a minimum to begin with to avoid overblowing the tone of the slightly more delicate Castellan Green. And now adding slightly more Zamesi Desert into my mix for the next layer stage. I don't want my mix to be more than a rough 1-to-1 split between the two paints moving into the highlight stage. I'm now gradually once again adding Screaming Skull into my mix for the final few highlight stages, focusing on the lines of the material as it falls down around his legs, creating seamless flow and movement within the material itself. Finally, once again, a glaze using heavily diluted Athonian Camoshade is being applied to these green cloth sections to tie everything together a little bit more. Now my mix becomes slightly convoluted to finish off Merry's elven cloak here, but I think you'll agree the finished look works really well. I'm adding in a very small amount of Screaming Skull into my original base coat mix, making this roughly 4 parts of my base coat mix to 1 part Screaming Skull, and I'm continuing to build up the flow and fold of the cloak. And as with the other greens, I'm simply adding more Screaming Skull into my mix as I continue building up my highlights, really desaturating and bringing light to the uppermost folds of material. You can see how this weird cacophony of paints looks, having given me the perfect off-grey, off-green, desaturated camo look, which is perfect for my elven cloak. The slight strappy woven texture of the red leather armour now is being initially defined with a 1-to-1 mix of Khorne Red and Evil Sun Scarlet. With another layer being applied using pure Evil Sun Scarlet, leaving the previous layer showing underneath to create some shading. With an edge highlight now being applied with a 1-to-1 mix of Evil Sun Scarlet and Bestigor Flesh. The trouser creases now are being given a layer using Skrag Brown. All the remaining leathers, the strap down his centre, the gloves, braces, and what wood grain texture you can actually reach on the shield reverse are being highlighted carefully using Gorthor Brown. I'm applying some delicate plank freehand to the shield outer now using Loren Forest. This is an optional extra and you can jump straight to an edge highlight around the rim if you prefer here, but just try and keep the planks even throughout if you do attempt this. With some wood grain texture being run through the blanking now using some delicately applied Elysian Green. And a glaze of heavily diluted Athonian Camoshade being applied now to tie the wood grain freehand together. The edge of the blade is then being highlighted using Ironbreaker. All the gold detailing, the hilt, fastenings, and all the decorative gubbins on the shield, including the giant boob-like centre, are being given a highlight using Liberator Gold. Finally, I'm picking up the Lothlorien brooch using Warpstone Glow. And applying a dot highlight just to make it stand out a little bit more, once again with Elysian Green. You should not doubt Meriadoc's heart, nor the reach of his arm in battle either. He is ready to ride to war in service of Theoden and the great kingdom of Rohan upon the fields of Pelennor, where their doom shall be decided. The passenger variant of Merry, who sits atop Dernhelm's horse, can be painted using the exact same methods in this video to make sure that your two variants match on or off of mount. All that's left is to base him, and you can see that on my 5-minute bases playlist. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to make sure you never miss a Mithril upload. And thank you so much to all our patrons. Your support is always greatly appreciated. And until next time, guys, take care and happy hobbying.